From France to Lebanon and now Cyprus, Davina Daoud's journey has been shaped by culture, resilience, and a deep connection to community. As co-founder of Bioenergy and candidate in the election of representatives of French citizens living abroad, she shares what inspired her journey into public service and her vision for stronger representation abroad. Welcome to the episode 10 of the Farah Shammas Podcast.
Davina Daoud, I'm so happy you're here, finally.
Yeah, thank you, Farah, for having me today.
It's my pleasure, and thank you. And of course, we've had Cesar, your husband, talking about bioenergy and holistic health and medicine and everything else. And you're both members of Farah's Club, and it's just a pleasure to go on this journey with you. And I can't believe where your journey is like unfolding now into politics.
Yeah, unexpectedly. I didn't know I would be there today, but I'm so happy. And actually, we share something in common. The community, Farah's community is inspiring what you have done and how you brought people together. And I have kind of did similar for the French in Cyprus. So here I am.
I love that. Well, let's start off by saying, how many French are there in Cyprus?
Also, legally, like registered, it's 1,500, but there are many, many more, and they are not registered. So we cannot count them, but it's surprising anyway to say how many people are there.
Yeah, because there's a lot of, and of course, we have a lot of tourists as well.
No, yeah.
But only 1,500 are registered, like living here.
Yeah, and it's increasing every year, actually.
And I'm sure the majority are in Nicosia with the French school.
Well, yeah, probably, but it's a bit everywhere, actually. Nicosia, Paphos, Larnaca, Limassol as well. With we have a French school here in Limassol as well. So
I heard.
Yeah.
But is that new?
Yeah, it's been 2-3 years now. 3 years, maybe a little more. Maybe, yeah. So we're getting more and more French, and every year the number of families or people who want to join, it's absolutely outstanding. And we have a lot of students as well from France coming in
the
Nicosia,
university. Yeah. I know. I recently spoke at the University of Nicosia, and I was just blown away. I was so impressed with it. The lecture halls, the space. And then when I came out, and of course it's sunshine and there's the palm trees. And I thought, well, imagine if you're coming from, I don't know, anywhere in Europe and it's cold and raining, and then you come to Cyprus to study, it's like paradise.
And you're in Europe.
Yeah.
It's like much easier for parents. It's easier on all levels. As a French living in Cyprus, the way you can integrate the life, it's much easier for everyone.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, before we jump into, the main bulk of the questions that I have for you, let's talk a little bit about you. French, married to Lebanese, having lived in Lebanon, I take my hat off to you. Speaking Arabic now, you're amazing.
Thank you.
And then moving to Cyprus. So I've summed it up, but let's say it in your own words.
Yeah.
How did that happen? What's going on?
Oh, God. It was a long time ago, actually. I was in France studying, and I was looking at myself not speaking a word in English. And I was like, okay, what I'm studying right now, we are like millions doing that. I need to find a way to differentiate myself from others. And I started looking for America. I'm like, okay, let's go for the American dream. But it didn't work out, obviously. And looking at the map, I'm like, okay, I need to find a way to learn English without knowing a word and learn from commerce or business, And Lebanon was there. My father used to go for work for many years, and he used to tell me stories about Lebanon, I tried to go to Dubai first, but there were the economical situation, and it was really unstable back then. So here I go to Lebanon, get an opportunity for work. I moved in. It was crazy.
And this is like over 20 years ago.
Yeah, I was 22 actually. So it was crazy, and I didn't know anyone. And I didn't know Lebanon other than what I've seen about Lebanon.
Yeah.
And social media.
But Lebanon,
and so
I mean, back then it was stable.
Well, I reached
stable,
there. It was 2007. It was a year after the war.
Wow. Imagine when we say 22 years ago, my head immediately goes to 2000. And we're 2026. Okay.
I didn't realize it was still like that. And I came in
that's
August.
When we had the problems. But
July. I came in August, and there were an explosion or a bombing in September. So welcome to Lebanon.
There you go.
Yeah. Other than the culture, it was really tough. Yeah. I didn't understand anything. It was really complicated for me, the way of living and so on. But Lebanon,
chaotic.
for me,
it's a beautiful chaos.
Yeah. But it was also moderated for me because everybody speaks French. So it was a chance for me. And they say they are the best in business. So, I was driven by that purpose. And then I met Cesar there in Lebanon a few months after. I wish earlier.
Where did you meet Cesar?
So we used to work for a company in Lebanon.
Okay.
He was working with the CEO and I was working in the head office. So yeah, this is how we met. Yeah, but when I met him, Lebanon was clearer for me. Like it was explaining to me how does it work and how everything was so different for me. The way we eat, the way we drive, the way we live, everything. It was really chaotic for me. But I never ever thought of let's go back to France. I was there. I don't know. It was like a calling. And when Cesar came in my life, it was obvious that this is for that purpose. I'm here.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cute. That makes me quite emotional.
But I also fell in love with Lebanon in so many aspects, and the way they teach you how to live and not to survive and to be alive, not just to live like to enjoy every moment, to be so mindful, to be grateful for what life gives you because they enjoy every single minute,
I know.
So I have
Proud
enjoyed.
to be Lebanese, definitely. I was talking to someone the other day who made me laugh. She said, if there's such a thing as reincarnation and I come back again, I pray to God I'm going to come back with the confidence of a Lebanese.
Yeah.
And then I was like, do you mean that literally or you just mean that we're arrogant? And she's like, no, I really mean it. She goes, you guys are amazing. It's just like so like we're here, we're gonna make the most of it.
Absolutely. Actually,
so
yes,
funny.
it's so true. It's not easy to get to work with that environment, and I was feeling not confident when I came because obviously, even though they speak French, every meetings was in English, and then they were starting Arabic very soon. So they benefit from the fact that I didn't understand the word and so on. But yeah, the Lebanese has a lot to teach everyone.
And so you guys got married, had two children, and then moved to Cyprus. Is it 6 years ago now?
Yeah, 2 weeks before the explosion, we came to Cyprus, and this is where I actually realized what was the meaning of being French. Because the years before, I never understood that. It was just a passport to me. When the revolution started, October 19, that night, I met with some friends, and they told me, "For you, it's okay. You're French," and I didn't get it. I didn't get what do you mean? What's the meaning of that? And then slowly the revolution and then COVID, and then we decided to leave everything behind because we had a health center there, the very first integrative health center in Beirut and so on. And that's when I really realized like, oh God, okay, this is being French. It's being supported by government. It's being having advantages that you don't have, and I learned that all the process from the moment we left until we moved to Cyprus. And here, as a French citizen, literally, you feel home. It's so easy for you to come, to open a bank account, to get an apartment, to start the kids in the school. It's so different than being a Lebanese or a third national country. And slowly with that time, I realized, oh, okay, the French embassy is there. They are supporting you. We knock at the door, they answer you. There is something, Lebanese government, unfortunately, didn't do much for us when we were either in the revolution or the COVID. And this is where I felt like, okay, that you can value whatever is happening. You need administrative document in a click online. Worldwide, as a French, you get whatever you need. If I want to get something for the kids in Lebanon, you need to go back to where they were born, and the process is kind of different. So when we moved to Cyprus, I was like, okay, now I know. I'm lucky.
Yeah, definitely. That's for sure. I mean, to have a European passport is amazing. So what was the click then, the aha moment that made you say, okay, this is my new calling. I need to get into politics. I need to run and for this and protect my community or be that bridge.
There were two steps first. Politics came way after, and I'm really discovering this right now. The first step was when we came, actually, we knew no one in Cyprus. So we had to move on and find a way, and we needed really to get into it. So I knocked at the door at the French embassy, and I told them, I'm French, I'm here. How can you help me? And they gave me options, and they told me, we can do this for you, we can do that. The kids were accepted directly in the French system. They were no difference between in Lebanon and there. For them, it was a very transitional, smooth transition. So then slowly, I started to help families coming from Lebanon to move in Cyprus. And went into the system and I understood the difference between the French and the Lebanese and how does it work. And then I was into helping also French who wanted to move in Cyprus and open a company for the tax-friendly things we know about Cyprus. And I got a call one day telling me there's an association that is affiliated by the French government, represented worldwide, and works with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And it's a link between the embassy and the French community. And I was like, I don't want to do that. It's crazy. It's like, what do I need to do with that? I don't know nothing about association. And it took me 3 months. That day I met someone that was an amazing French person, and he told me, you're the one. You need to help us bring back the community together. Let's do it. It was maybe 70 years old. And he was like, and I was calling him to tell him I'm not going to do it. And he was like, I'm so excited and I'm so looking forward. And I was literally calling him to tell him I'm out. It's crazy. It will take so much time and efforts and I cannot. But anyway, eventually I relaunched it and I decided that I need to give to my country what the country gave me when I needed to leave from Lebanon so easily. And when my kids went accepted to a French school and went into the same system they were before, it was so smooth for them, and having all our documents and everything. I realized, I'm like, okay, I want to give that to my country. I relaunched the association. I got elected 4 years in a row, and we did a lot of community projects together. I launched many projects with the community, actually, just because I really wanted my kids to feel the connection with France.
Yeah, which
Because
having never lived there. Yeah.
exactly, we always say they were born in Lebanon, they feel Lebanese, but they are also French, So that was my way for me to tell them, this is your country as well. We don't live there. You never been there other than for holidays, but they care and they care for you and they care for who you are, even though you are abroad. So let's do things together. So it was really much with no intention other than giving back to my country.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about what that means. So now you're running for the consular elections. So you'll be the go-between between the actual consulate and the
French
community.
Yeah.
So how does this work? Tell us.
So this is where I started to decide to run for that election.
And why does there need to be someone in between? Because surely the consulate is there for the people.
No.
Explain. Yeah.
So I didn't know that much back then that it was a political election. I really thought it was an election for the French in Cyprus and the French abroad. Now that I'm into that, I realize that I stepped in a political side of it. So actually, the thing is exactly like the association that I relaunched a few years ago. The embassy is always affiliated to that association to organize events and community gatherings and so on. So this is the role of that association everywhere in the world. This elected person is literally the link between the consulate and the community, because there are actually lots of
meaning the consulate that might change
obviously every years.
Yeah.
But it is also really like, I think, and I have understood that from the association, people wants to talk to you as a person who is actually really knowing what you go through every day, that you are actually community, So I discovered part of that role that I'm now running for 50% of it from being a president of the association before. You are a voice for them. You actually gather and hear things that you would probably not say to an official. So people build trust in you and they tell you things. And I'm going to give you an example.
More
One day,
approachable.
a woman called me. She was crying. She was a member of the association. My husband died last night. I am lost. I don't know what to do. I don't know what needs to be done administratively talking. She called me. She didn't call the embassy, and she was in touch with the embassy for official reasons that we all know. But she was lost and she needed just someone she trusts.
Support.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of that position is being there as a human, but yet reflecting the information. And for the past 4 years, when I was as a president, without me asking, people were already calling me, and I got a call one day from a woman.
So you were the president
Yeah,
of this association,
yeah,
but now there's an official
yeah,
position
yeah.
that's. So you'll still be the president of the association?
No,
No, then someone else.
I had
Okay.
to resign. I
So
could not
someone
run.
else is now or will
Yes,
become?
I have been working with the team for the past 4 years, and it was already planned. Then I
Yeah.
will move out from that position because I don't
Yes.
belong. It's
And
not my.
someone else will
So I
take him.
delegated to a team
Yeah.
that are taking
Okay.
over, and I'm grateful to have them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would not be able to
And then
run.
and then you'll take this official position.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And the elections are on.
May 22
Mm.
and until May 30,
Okay. Sorry, I
31st.
interrupted you. You said
No
there was
worry.
someone else.
No,
Yeah.
but Sunday, a
Yeah.
mom called me from France and she told me my daughter was in Ayanapa and she had a jet accident
Mm.
and she's in the hospital. I'm not able to talk to anyone. I need just to know that my daughter is okay, you know? And they were like, I like, it's like amazing to see that
Yeah.
people who need to talk to someone that would feel what you would
Yeah.
feel that case. There are also a lot of beautiful moments and we share lots of beautiful, but I think this connection when you trust someone and they know that you have the same values, I think it's really much important. On the highest level, we also represent, if I get elected, we also represent the French abroad worldwide. So we work with the senators, with the deputy, and so on and so on. So the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is like delegating tasks so we can be more on the field, understand
Yeah.
better what's really happening, and not just from the embassy side.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you're based in the embassy or
no,
out? No.
no.
Yeah.
I'm not based
Okay.
in the
Yeah.
embassy. Actually, just it's just a way for the embassy to get all
Yeah.
the tools
Yeah.
to make sure that they can run
Have the feel of
projects
the yeah.
exactly in a way that is adapted, that the
Okay.
community is being heard. The French,
Yeah.
they want to be heard, and that
Mm-hmm.
trust link that you get with the community is, this is where I said like maybe I should run for the election,
Mm.
because I am really getting it to a lot lately in the past years, and you can help on the
You're
educational
passionate.
level. Yeah, I'm also elected member of the French committee at the French school.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm helping the French school as well. So there are so many aspects where you can really feel like, okay, I'm doing something good for my
Mm.
country and for the community.
It's quite a big commitment, and you told me about it last time we met up that when you're a mother of two, married, supporting your husband in
Running businesses.
running his business and well your joint business and doing the marketing, and you've got your own entrepreneurial other consultancy businesses as well, and your kids are also there. Being a mom of any age group is difficult, but you've got two teenagers. And you said that you sat down and you decided this as a family because it's quite a lot of work, and you're also involved some traveling, I think.
Not
So
really much, but at least
mm,
twice a year.
twice a year.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and it
you
needs
know,
logistic when you're
yeah,
away.
yes, of course.
You know
So
that.
and you decided as family, yes, this is what we're going for.
Yeah,
Um, so tell us a bit about that and like balancing, that aspect, your own personal life, your own family life with giving back to a
yeah.
community. And also the shock that you've had now because, you know, politics is dirty. And I think you've already had that shocker with people writing about you online, with digging up not even truthful things, but just crazy.
Yeah,
And also, I asked you earlier, I said, I bet you it's mainly women. And it
yeah,
has been.
yeah.
So that's three things now I've just thrown at you to
Yeah,
discuss. Yeah.
so I think you cannot do all of that if you're not being supported by
Mm,
your own family, and it starts with your husband. I
mm,
mean, we are both very active, and when he needs to be supported, I'm there, and but
mm.
I also in that case need them to support me. The engagement is yes, it takes a lot, and the four past years, even though I didn't have this official
Hmm.
role, I was already doing it a lot, so they already have an
A
idea,
taste of it.
a taste of
Yes.
what's gonna be next. But
Hmm.
it was very important for me to make sure that it's family decision, that you guys agree with that. I think we reach a point in our life sometimes, we as a woman, where we gave a lot to our kids, and then like, okay, kids are going to grown up and I work from home basically, so what about me and what about my life as well?
Mm,
And this like gratefulness I have for friends that I understood so late, it's like it deserve. I mean, we are so individualist in the way we
mm,
live lately, the community aspect has been lost, and everything is just so easier when you're surrounded by people who have wants to help and like support each other and so on. So that was where I felt like I can really make a difference, but I need you guys to allow me to do it. And it's a long process, and I was really not going for that, and I said no for many months, saying I'm not going to run for that election because I knew it will be a commitment. I didn't expect it to be so political, but I was not ready. I was like, it's not for me. But then I realized it's
But let's
actually
talk
the
about the
continuity.
politics side.
Yeah.
What shocked you the most?
Yeah, so I was sure that election is more for the French in Cyprus. I didn't understood the political side of it. And I have discovered two parts of that. The first one, which is where people really wants to commute and work together everywhere in the world for the French abroad. They give you a hand and they tell you, let's continue together, let's bring better things for the French abroad. And there is the other side where actually we defend a candidate just because he belongs to a political party and not because I don't know, maybe I could have known those people for many years and supported them. And all of a sudden, they support the candidate opposing me just because they belongs to a political party. And this is where, from the beginning, I have made a choice that I'm not going to be representing any political party. And that independence cost me much more work and much more efforts and much more communication and much more on all level. I need to do double or triple efforts. My efforts for the past 4 years was actually not enough. And I thought it would be. I thought what I have been doing and the
You've
time
proven
I gave
yourself, yeah.
exactly would be enough. But no, it's not enough. You still need to go. And yes, political are amazing. We do need them. I have to say that it's really now I realize that it's really hard. It's definitely complicated, and the democracy needs to have those people. But it can be also very like affecting. And I have been really touched because I'm human and hypersensible as well, and I love people. I just love people, and I was so surprised by what I've seen on social media or what people were saying about me. I'm like, what? Where in the world and which moment I could have give this impression of being like this or like that? But then I realized that those people, they just have blackness and sadness
It's a
inside them.
reflection on them, not on you.
Exactly. But it took me a while to understand this is not personal. They are not targeting you, they are targeting their own self. And it's okay if they want to be against you. Just keep going despite it all. But I was not ready. I didn't know. I didn't expect that it will be like that. I'm learning and
Yeah,
I'm
it's
getting
hard.
stronger.
Yeah.
And I will stay and keep having in mind that the independence to that election is for me the best way. And I will not just surround there saying, okay, let's get into a political party so it would make it easier for me. I'm not going to do it. I am here to represent the French in Cyprus, and I'm here to represent their needs. I am not here yet to represent a political party. I don't know where it will take me in the years, but unfortunately for
For the
me yet,
moment, yeah.
no,
It's
I'm
about the people, not
yes.
about a political agenda.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, let's go back. What's the purpose of that position? What is the purpose of that position? It's to be there for the French citizen abroad and to make sure they hear your voices and that people hear their voices and
Yeah,
you
regardless of their
represent them.
political party. Yeah.
Regardless, absolutely. What will it change now, currently, if I
Mm-hmm.
represent a political party or no? So some of them, they told me, bravo, and keep going, and we will support you and be on your side whatsoever. But they are also always a minority, let's say it, that is a bit vocal, and we can hear them louder than the others. But the biggest part is being done where no one sees it. It's being calls, it's being meetings, it's receiving tons of messages supporting me. And when they try to reach me actually in a negative way, you know what I get back? It's more love and support. And I'm like, stop focusing on that negative part of it. Remember that you get a lot of support because of what they are doing without even creating it. And I keep going. But
And
yeah,
and many people, they are jealous, or when they see someone succeed, that makes them feel uneasy because it
a
reflects
woman, you
on
mean?
and especially women. Many
Yeah,
times, it's
yeah.
awful to say, but I think women, and we've been fighting for centuries and decades and years, for women's rights and to move forward and have the same safe space in the world as men do. But a lot of the time, it's not the men against us. It's,
No,
sometimes
the
women.
woman. Absolutely. But you know that there is a problem. This stereotype saying as a mom, you cannot do it. You won't have
Mm,
time. You cannot, you need to be with your kids. Well, I can be with my kids and lead by example. I want
yeah.
my daughter every day to wake up tomorrow
Hmm.
and saying, I want to be a better world. I want to live
Yeah.
in a better world. I want to be a better person. I can be a mom
Hmm.
and I can still go for work. I can still do
I know.
things that I'm really happy about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
I
not,
can still contribute.
yes,
And I can
exactly.
still be myself, my independent self,
Absolutely.
regardless of my job title or whether I'm a mother or not, or whether
Absolutely. And the
I
day the
said that,
kids goes, then what
yeah,
would you become? Because
yeah.
you know, so
And then
the,
so many women they fall into depression and they, oh my goodness. And I have full respect for women who
yes,
don't
yeah,
not are forced to, but choose to be full-time stay-at-home mothers, housewives, whatever, however they want to term it.
absolutely,
Full respect.
absolutely.
Bringing up the next generation is not a joke. Supporting your spouse, creating a beautiful home, all of these things are wonderful. But it's not for everyone. And it's
No,
not then for however you choose to be in your life to judge negatively other people. We're there to
yeah.
support.
But also, I think the political situation in France for the past years is showing a negative aspect of
Mm,
what's happening. And I know that it's not perfect. I know we can always make it better, but people they don't realize how lucky we are as a
mm,
French. And when we are abroad, we do realize better than the French in
mm,
France. I do realize that even though the political situation currently is not amazing, but it's still we have a president who cares for his people.
mm.
Still, he's trying to protect us, and he was the first one sending us some boats, military boats, when the situation currently abroad was not good. Politically or no, we like him or no, whatever,
You've
the
got,
role of a
yeah.
president is to take care of his citizen. When we were in Lebanon the past years before the explosion and the revolution, I didn't see a government taking care of us. Lebanon is an amazing country. I love Lebanon and I love Lebanese, but the government is not there. The system is not working. Us as a French, we has a huge advantage. Everything, administration process, everything online. And being an European, tomorrow my daughter, she wants to study, she can go anywhere in the world. And I want my kids to always remember that
And
that you got
respect it.
lucky. Why did I was born in France? Why not someone else? And when we left Lebanon and left so many people behind us because they could not leave, then you say, okay, it's not perfect. There are tons of things that need to be improved. The governments, yes, whatever, what
Mm,
happening the past years, but at least I have that. This
yeah.
is
The
gold.
glass is definitely half full. Yeah.
Yeah, this is gold. I mean, you start your life with having a huge advantage compared to others. You
Yeah.
don't need a visa to go anywhere. My
Mhm.
daughter was sent for a competition to represent the school in a European competition in Roma.
Mm.
She was okay. She was selected because she's good,
Yes, yes.
obviously,
But
but she
she
has
could
a
go.
French passport. The trip was 2 weeks. The
Mm.
you know the deadline was very short. She had a French passport. Without it, she
She
would
couldn't have
have
gone.
stayed in Cyprus. So
Mm.
for me, this is where I am. I'm here saying that nothing is perfect. We always need to improve. There is
But be
always,
positive.
but
But be
yeah,
positive
and
and
be
look on the bright
grateful.
side. Yeah, and grateful.
Exactly.
Actually, I have that as one of my first questions. I mean, having lived in France, Lebanon, and Cyprus, you've had this amazing and beautiful opportunity to see three quite different cultures and landscapes and people. And how has that shaped your identity and seeing the
Oh
world?
wow, many ways.
Yeah.
Actually, Lebanon was the biggest lesson of my life on all levels. The family aspect, how they engage, to be always together and support each other, but also this instability. Like in a second, you don't know
Hmm.
what's gonna happen. We've lost almost everything in a few days. 14 years of work just erased like that, as if I'm cleaning a board, you know. And then here again, I realized then during COVID, my family were not really in trouble. Like the government was taking care of them. During COVID, there were no one in Lebanon taking care of the citizens. Everybody was trying to help each other. And then France has a lot of advantages, but as an entrepreneur also, it's not easy. It's a different way of working. So you have from each country a bit of everything. And Cyprus is for me the mini Lebanon. It's the chaos of Lebanon, but yet the stability of Europe. It's a
Mm.
good midway, other than the quality of life and how we feel here. We can do more because in Lebanon, I don't think I could have done so much. I
Mm.
think time was different in
Yeah.
many ways. So here we have that chance to
Mm.
do it, and every country has something to get. And I am learning from all of
All
them,
of them.
and I'm trying to focus on those three amazing. And when there's something that is not really, it could be improved, like in the health, for example. I know that Cesar can do many more because we are a bit far away from what it should be in Europe. Then it's an opportunity. Let's build on. Let's do something about that, you know? So those three countries literally got me
Yes, they
got
have.
me to be who I am in so many ways. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it, well, yeah, I have a similar story, and we've got the English side, the British side,
Yeah.
Lebanese, Cyprus, and I've always been so grateful to Cyprus because it's kind of summed up who I am. It's meeting halfway, and it's, the Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, just beautiful chaos, but then a bit more structure, like the European. It's the stability, and there's so much, yeah, to learn, and it's to take the best from all three.
Exactly.
Mm.
Cyprus, it's a country where people likes people, like they
Hmm.
care for each other. When we live in a north of Europe, the aspect is different.
Yeah.
I cannot, I think, live in a country where there is this kind of distance between.
Mm.
I love people. I love to meet people. I love to hear their story. And here you have that chance because it's still, Cyprus is small, but you have international exposure. You're at the door of the Middle East and yet in Europe. So I found it very rich in
Mm.
many ways. And you or many others knows better than anyone that there are so many opportunities here to hear stories of people
Hmm.
from everywhere in the
Yeah,
world.
amazing stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Um, oh, so many questions here. Means la, 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 la. Let me see. Mary, you have to cut this bit out as I read. 1 minute, because normally I cross out. Wait. Okay, I'll ask those two now. Okay, so I have another question here for you. Just have to read through my notes. So, have you ever faced doubt, which I think we all have, because of the resistance on this journey or disappointment from seeing how other people have acted? And in general, in life, I mean, moving to Lebanon from France, when you've had to doubt yourself, and how have you pushed through that in your personal journey?
Oh, well, when we left Lebanon, I have to say I was numb for 6 months, and the guilt feeling was horrible.
Like the survivor syndrome.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I left. I saved myself and my kids and my husband, obviously. But what about the others behind? You're like, you know, and you know what? Not so long ago, when everything happened in Lebanon a few weeks ago, I realized, and when I married my husband, I didn't just marry him and his family. I also married the history of Lebanon. And
Mm.
forever, I will always be touched. And I will always feel like a part of me is falling when they are bombing or when
Mm.
something is happening. You get so much into it, and
Mm.
you're like, this is unfair. But since I'm out and since I got that chance, then let's make a better chance
Mm.
and enjoy it double
Mm-hmm.
on all the way. Now I'm definitely another person. From the day we left until today, I definitely believe in me much more. That's for sure. And I think if all of us we try to change a little bit, even a step at a time. I mean, I never built this community thinking one day I will run for the election. You don't know what small things will take you to. And
We don't know the future.
exactly, so you get to
And how
put,
boring would it be if we knew?
yeah,
That's the whole
yeah,
beauty of
yeah,
life, that we get to grow, that we get to do little things, and we get to
yeah.
change our minds
Yeah, but even
and
if it's
see how
little and
yeah,
we think like it's nothing, actually
it's
it
huge.
is,
It can be
because
huge.
one after
Snowball
one,
effect.
exactly. And I was thinking that I was not doing so much. And when I realized that the political side and the candidate facing me is supported by a political party, I decided, let's fight. Okay, I want to
Mm.
win. I want to win because I deserve it, because I know a lot of what's coming and I know I can make it happen. And I was looking at my past and I was checking, oh God, I've done this. And oh, wow, I have. And then I was suddenly realizing you did a lot of small little things that was maybe at the end,
Made a difference.
yeah, but maybe it was not being seen, but all of it together became something.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that the experience of Lebanon and the fact that I was born and raised in France and surrounded by an amazing family that also appreciate the fact that I didn't come back to France when we left Lebanon. They were okay for me to go and move to Cyprus, where they were like, you should go
Again,
home.
another country.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So when you're feeling loved and you have this community, your own community, and then you want to give something, little as it is, one day, one event, one gathering, one message, one, I don't know, whatever, then you feel like, okay, then I'm doing something good. And this is what I want to be. I want to be someone who says we can do everything as a mom. We can work, we can be good moms, we can take care of the kids, feed them with the proper food and not junk food and whatever, but we also give time to others because they give you a lot. You know what's the best reward of being a community leader is really their smile and their love and their messages. I have never received so much love other than my
Yeah, of
husband and
course. Yeah.
kids, but so much love than when I started that community. When you work and you're getting paid for it, I don't think you get this human link. And when people just thank you so much for what you have done, you feel like, okay, I can do something.
I made a difference. I made a
Yes,
difference to them today, and that's all that
absolutely.
matters.
And we need that specifically nowadays with all the instability everywhere, where everybody is living individualist. No, we have to live together. We have to support each other and help each other. Same for the kids at school. I want them to support them each other. I mean, when someone new is coming living Lebanon, I want them to tell them, hey, my friend, let's do it together.
Empathy.
Or if they have tests and they're not really like feeling comfortable, I want them to help each other. I don't know anything. This is how we should be and live all together. And the community, for example, Farah's Club, was amazing for us to meet people like we would have probably never met otherwise than in that moment where okay, you are the reason why we gather, obviously, and
Oh, but it's
your energy.
about the community. It's not about
Exactly.
me. It's
And
about
when you say,
everyone.
okay, I'm a Farah's Club, honestly, whenever
Yeah.
I meet someone and like, I'm at Farah's Club, and like, oh, wow. So we're already friends. And the same for the association. If you tell them that they belong to that association, there is something that keeps you. So for me, the three countries has definitely something to teach me and to let me be the person I I want to be or I am.
If there was one thing that you could change, maybe in the political system or maybe just in how things are run here for the expats, what would it be? What would be better?
Well, I don't think I'm yet too much into politics to be able to change anything in the political aspect. But I think when you are expat and you come from a different world where everything works differently, and then you reach here where it has its own rules and way of doing, I would really find a way to gather any kind of platform or information somewhere. It would be just easier. Like, okay, I want to insurance. I want to.
You mean like frequently asked questions
Yes.
or like, is there a website or?
No, no,
Yeah.
no. Well, the French embassy website is really well done, but guess what? People, they don't read. There are lots of information in there.
Yeah.
But I think we have to, even though if I will be elected, I'll be the person. We have to work all together. I mean, the students needs to have a representative, the retired people, the families, and so on. I think we really need to work on together and try to gather the information. I very often hear there is nothing to do in Cyprus.
Ah,
That's pissed me off
I know
a
that
lot.
so much.
Yes, that's crazy because
That's crazy. I
because
know.
we actually have double event every day. We need to pick them.
It used to be the case, I have to say. I mean,
At some
I
point.
always found things to do, but
Yeah.
if you're a busy acts person, but I'm talking like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, now you literally are here and you're like, okay, calm down, everyone.
Yes,
There are
exactly.
things like not just every day, like 5 things a day. I mean, May, oh my goodness, so many conferences, seminars, things,
Absolutely.
famous people coming from abroad,
Places to visit.
historical places to visit, performances, ballets, you know, shows, school events. I mean, it just is crazy.
Absolutely.
Museums, the list
So
goes
for
on.
me, this is
Hikes,
very important to, yes,
fairs.
to
Oh,
remind people that
yeah,
they are many things, but we don't get the information, maybe the nicest
yeah.
way. From a survey I have sent to the community, the two biggest problems they face is being alone.
Mm,
And the community is the answer.
yeah.
The community is the answer. We need to be more together. We need to support those people who, I love people. It's easy for me to go to people. But for the others, we need to support each other. 2 days ago, an old lady that I love, she's being so loyal to me from the day I relaunched the association. And we were talking together, and she's like, my TV is not working. I don't get it. I told her, don't worry about it. We'll find a plan. I caught someone from the community, and I was like, okay, we need to find someone who knows how to fix TV. And all together we managed in 2 days to send someone and fix it, and this is how it
Yeah.
should be,
And that's how it should be. And
This
then
is
everybody feels like they've given back and they've done something good
exactly.
and they feel.
Exactly. So the cultural aspect and what to do in Cyprus is important for
Mhm.
me. I really want people to see that there are a lot of things.
Mm,
You should choose actually.
yeah.
And the fact that we're not alone. We're
Mm,
not alone. Even the French government, even the French embassy, they tell you we cannot reach. You need an appointment. If you knock at the door, they won't let you in. Yes, obviously, the current situation is complicated, but there are many other actors that works in silence from the association. I'm talking the volunteer. I started alone.
mm,
We were 25 when I resigned. To whoever people are local institute and so on. Everybody is trying to make a difference, but you just need to find a way to see it
mm,
first and appreciate it, not being there always to
mhm.
criticize also. But yeah, Cyprus has a lot to offer as a French on all levels, and we need to put this and highlight it. And you're not alone.
Mm.
We're all there for each one and others.
Absolutely. Okay, final question before I go to the Instagram questions. So, for women listening who might want to step into either leadership positions or start their own business or get into politics, what would you say to them?
I would say a lot.
Yeah.
But the first thing is don't believe what people tells about you. Believe what you think. And
Mhm.
if you're sure that deep inside what you're doing is right and you can sleep well at night feeling like I am true to myself, just do it.
Yeah.
I met the Minister of Education a few days ago. She's a lady and she has kids. And every time we see each other, I talk to her and we talk about how it is hard to be a woman, whatever, if you're an entrepreneur or in politics or
Mhm.
whatever. And they will try always to take you down, even though I don't get it why. I'm not understanding why they should. But whoever, just believe in yourself.
Mm.
Listen to the reason why do you want to do it? What's the story behind it? If you have a real reason and you're driven really by a purpose, don't don't
Mm.
don't look at what's happening around. Don't try to, okay, it's easy said. I was affected by whatever was happening, but now I'm back on track.
Yeah, of course, you're
And I
only
want, but
human.
just do it, and a step at a time.
Mm.
Like launching a business, I have been coaching people worldwide who they follow their spouse
Mm.
everywhere in the world, so diplomats and so on, every
Mm.
3 to 4 years, and their work never followed them. And I found that absolutely not okay. I mean, you should not follow and not being able to continue what you were doing. And I have developed a program back then where it's still running, but now I'm into the election, where I'm encouraging women and men who wants to really start, even though it's with the minimum, start a business that will come travel with them, that will follow them, and that is
Mm.
aligned with their way of living and not the other way around. There is always a way. You don't need a big capital. You don't need people. You don't need anything. You can do it on
Mm.
your own if you think you can really make a difference.
Also, if you're not fulfilled as an individual, you're never going to be in a
Yeah.
relationship fulfilled,
Yeah.
because you have to fill your own cup.
Absolutely.
and then you can balance and give back to that family, that community.
Yeah, but I mean, you're gonna learn the woman you are, the man you are throughout the experience.
Yeah.
You know, because again, like for example, this election, I didn't know what I was going through. I thought I know, but it's okay. I mean, okay, you get it, and then move on. And you will fail again with entrepreneurship. It's not easy. Entrepreneur is really hard. You feel lonely. It has a lot of, aspect, and you have to keep going. You cannot give up. But it's the same if I say, okay, being a mother. A mother is not easy.
It's not easy, but you can't give
But
up.
you can't give up. You have to keep going,
There's
and you have to
definitely
believe in
no.
yourself, one step at a time. So whatever is the challenge facing you, and whatever, if you don't know where you're going, it's not clear, the path is not really clear, just do it. If you feel like you have to go, just do it.
Yeah. Right. So I'll go on to Insta now. We always ask a question to our followers at the beginning. Let me see. Let's go here. Okay. So I asked, anyone can ask anything to Davina. Okay. So we have one from a Christiana. So Lebanon has a way of transforming people, especially those who weren't born there, but choose to love it anyway. What did living in Lebanon give you that France never could? Well, we kind of touched on that, but yeah. Dream.
I was not allowing myself to dream when I was in France. I thought that you have to kind of go within the system. You have to study, and then you get a job, and then you get promoted, and so on. I'm not criticizing that aspect in France, but I thought that was it. When I went to Lebanon, I dreamt, and I was like, everything is possible.
Everything is possible.
Okay, at some points, being a mom and dreaming is kind of challenging. It's very hard to do both in Lebanon, but still, you dream of being with the person you want to be despite everything. Well, I'm French, he's Lebanese, you dream of building a business, you can do everything. Lebanon has no limit, so definitely.
I love that. Lebanon has no limit. It's so true. So true. Okay, a final one from someone called Omar. If it works out and you win and serve, what's the one thing that you want to have changed or said that you've changed to be proud of?
I would definitely rebuild connection between the community and that role, that person, and I will rebuild trust.
Okay.
Because I'm very grateful for the work that has been done the past years from the person who was elected, but I think the connection with persons and the link we should have with them and the trust, and this is the priority for me. It will start from there. There are so many other aspects that needs to be improved. I will definitely continue my mission with the French school. That school needs to be sustainable. That school needs to keep on going. My kids are the happiest because of that school, and I'm so grateful, because otherwise I think I would be crying with them instead of doing what I do today. So I will continue my mission, but the community needs to be all together. We need to continue, and we need to keep having trust between each other. I want them to call me when they need it. I want them to be able to tell me, I'm into this situation. What are the options? I will continue exactly like I did for the association. They are other much bigger aspect, and that is involving worldwide, because we do represent the French abroad. But that's the priority, definitely.
Giving back.
Yeah.
I love that. Davina, thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you
been a
for
pleasure.
you. Thanks, my dear. Thank you for. I'm happy I'm here today, because we often see each other for so many reasons.
I know, and all social events,
yes,
but never one on one.
Yeah, and I think it's very important to give a voice to everyone, and that is a good opportunity for me to remind why I'm running for that election, and why I gave so much time and energy, because it's real investment, and why I'm convinced that I should win, because I mean, we forget all the way, it's a long process, and sometimes we have to remember every time that it's all worth it. Everything will be fine, and yeah, we should keep on going, even the ups and the downs.
I wish you all the best of luck, all the
Thank you so
success
much, Farah.
always.
Thank you so
much,
much.
my dear.
Keep
It's been a
shining.
pleasure. You too.